The Great British Coin Hunt, we got what you want. We got gold and silver, seems everyone's a winner. It's so elementary, you get one free entry. Every single raffle, make your collection dazzle. TGBCHraffle.com, TGBCHraffle.com.
Clever. I was smoking then, and as smokers will know, sometimes it just goes a bit wrong and you get the smoke go straight in your eye. And it did. Right, so hello, good morning. This is just an update. So it's one of those ones where I do an update and I'm not coming in to chat as such, because if I chat, it will just put me off the update. And I just want to do an update just for people that don't want to look at the chat, that just want to know what's going on. So this is an investment update, and just to let you know exactly sort of where we are and where we're going. So where to start? So to start, I've got to start with saying the first thing I've got to do is I've got to pull the camper van idea. This is because, I mean, there's no other way of getting around it, or you know, or not mentioning it, unfortunately. But there are, shall we say, peoples out there, forces out there that are doing their absolute best to just put a spanner in the works of everything I do. It doesn't matter what I chop and change to try and do, these forces are still putting the spanners in the works. To the degree where we now have an issue with the Gambling Commission over the camper van. Now, I know the Gambling Commission from a point of view of having dealt with them before, and I realise what it is that I've done wrong. And it is quite simply, I'm not giving enough free entries away. You have to, in order to have a prize competition, you have to have a route of free entry. There are various other terms, if you want to call it that, conditions, but you have to give a route of free entry, a bit like we have on the raffle site, where every single raffle that we put up has got a route of free entry, and that they leave us alone on. The guesses for the gold, they're leaving us alone on because we give enough free entries away. But I wasn't giving enough free entries away quick enough, or it's not that I'm not giving enough free entries away, because we have given free entries away. It's more that there isn't an advertised free entry route like there is on the raffles. That was my mistake. And I could fix that. I could fix that reasonably quickly, but it means I have to devote more time and energy and effort. And I think it would be a lot easier to say, okay, let's capitulate on that battle, because we ain't going to win that battle at the moment. And I'm too thinly spread and don't have enough hours in the day to just keep meeting aggravation after aggravation after aggravation. So that little battle I'm gonna capitulate on, and I'm gonna pull the camper van. Anybody that's got outstanding camper, I mean, as I said at the beginning, if I do pull, if for any reason I do pull it, for the guesses that have been made doesn't matter, because if somebody had guessed the right number, they would have wanted it. So the fact that they haven't guessed the right number just cancels that out. Anybody that's got outstanding guesses that they haven't used up, outstanding vouchers that they haven't used up, then I will give you and reimburse you so that you can have guesses for the gold instead. And one of you will probably end up winning the gold now. So there is not much that I can do about that, because remember, I am on my own. If I had the team here, if it was me and John and Logan and Kelly, for example, and the whole team was working here, then I would just do what needs to be done and continue with that. But I've only got 2 hands and 1 head, and I do need rest in between. So if I had to put it on that, put it off. So now what I need to do to get the money back on that is sell it. So if anybody wants to buy a camper van, give me a shout. You know, all the insides are brand new. I'll try and figure out something else. The people that have invested in the camper van consortium, I will be contacting you and giving you your refund on that. Or if you want to, you can have it on something else, but you know, I'll refund that. The money's separate for that. So that deals with the camper van. Okay, investments. Now let's move on to the investments. It was extremely bleak. It was at a point where I was never, ever, ever, you know, and then it went to 18 months. I think I could turn this around, and now it becomes less. I'm not changing on that. Even though I have all of this aggravation and all of these punch-ups I keep having, I'm still not changed on that, even though a significant amount of income has been interfered with. I mean, a significant amount of income again has been interfered with, you know, lost the eBay account. And those of you that don't know, those forces, external forces, you know, have now taken down all sorts of things. We lost that first Teespring merchandising account. We've lost the eBay account. You know, it just goes on and on and on and on. And I don't mention it in the stream simply because I don't want to just add fuel to the fire and give some of these people reason to just, you know, or give even customers reason to think, oh, Ian's turning a bit nasty. I did turn nasty a couple of times, and I won't apologise for that at all. But anyway, it all comes down to I made a mistake a year ago, and I've paid for it ever since, and I ain't stopping paying for it. I'm still paying for it now. So what we're going to do? So I will be working on the investments, but something came to me, an idea came to me, and some of you should, I hope, in theory, appreciate this, that are still outstanding on investments. Outside of investments, anybody that is owed anything, all you have to do is get in touch. I've always said that, so let me make that clear. Anybody that is owed anything, just get in touch. See, the problem has been that we've had so much hassle thrown our way and people pointing fingers that they've been pointing fingers going, you're going to trip up, they're going to trip up, they're going to trip up, and then they do everything they can to make us trip up so that they can then say, see, they tripped up. Anyway, I digress. So there was one idea I came up with. Now, as you know, we've got this prize wheel going. The prize wheel works, and it is generating income, so I can at least guarantee a certain amount of income. That way I can guarantee a certain amount of income with the memberships that we've now got, because we've got paid memberships on YouTube as well as Patreon, and I am concentrating on enticing people and getting people to up their membership to gold on YouTube. So there are certain things that are all working out. There are certain things that are, you know, there's been a couple of areas where we've been sort of keep getting tripped up, and there's a couple of areas that are working. So that's where I'm concentrating. Now, the domains. So there was a person that I still owed £3.5 grand worth of investment to. And what I said to him was, look, I think at the end of the day, I owe you this £3.5 grand. No, we're never going to get away from that. I owe you this £3.5 grand. What I think that we should do, if you go by my recommendation, is I think you should take this £3.5 grand and let me spread it between the domains that we've had up for sale. Let me spread it between those domains, because I'm doing a prize wheel for them. And if you do that, I can knock the shares off here and there, smaller amounts, but get them paid, right? So I can cash in a share here and there. I can do it that way. But also, in the meantime, because I still owe you the money, whether you don't do anything at all and you just leave it as the investment, or whether or not you do what I'm suggesting, I still owe that money. It doesn't change the 3.5 at all, not one little bit. However, if you do what I suggest and put it all into the shares and let me transfer it basically into the shares, I think every now and again you will be getting some stuff out of it. You will be getting some bits and pieces out of it. Silver coin every now and again, or whatever, but you will be part of that, and you will every now and again, because I've put so much money into the shares, every now and again you're going to win. So they essentially said to me, look, at the end of the day, I've been with you all this time, and if you think that's the best way forward, bugger it, I'll do it then. I don't, whatever. It makes no difference to me, because as you say, you still owe me that money. So however that comes, some point, I'm still going to get paid that money. But in the meantime, go on then, I'll go for that. So I did. I split it up, bought the shares for him. And straight away in the first week, he won a couple of prizes, one of them being a silver coin. So that is my advice to anybody that I owe any investments to, right? Now, just to be perfectly clear, so that we totally understand it, this is how I'm doing any transfers. So, supposing you've got a previous investment, and let's just pick a figure to make it easy. So let's say you've got an investment of 500 quid, say. Over a 2-year period, what I promised you was 50%, 25% a year. So if you invested originally 500 quid, then your total return over 2 years should be 750. It should be your £500 back plus 250 return. Now, if I'm going to transfer the shares over, if you've got, say, a £500 investment, I'm going to do it the full 2 years, like I've been doing the cashing in. Do it the full 2 years. It's easy, right? I lose a bit, but it doesn't matter in the long run. It means that you benefit. So I work out, right, you've got £500 in, 50% of £500 is 250, at 250 of £500, that makes 750. That's how much I'm going to be owing you. Nice and simple, right? Doesn't matter if it's been 1 year, 8 months, doesn't matter if it's been 1 year, 6 months, doesn't matter if it's been 1 year. I'm not going to go to the absolute minute. I'm just going to go, look, that's what I promised them over 2 years. It all went south. That's what they're going to get. I've always maintained that whatever I've promised anybody, that is exactly what they're going to get, one way or the other. So, if you've got an investment of 500 quid, say, then that's 750. If you've got an investment of 1,000, then that's automatically 1,500. If you've got an investment of 10,000, that's automatically 15,000. The full 50%. Then split it up on the shares, on the memberships. You'll see by today's show at 3 o'clock, and those of you that you might not normally watch these, but have a little look in today's show on playback, and you'll see, because we'll be doing the first ones in today's show, and the differences that it's going to be. So when we spin the wheel for royalmint.news, because royalmint.news is £39, not 25 like a couple of the others, there will be a slight addition to the wheel. And because changechecker.org and .com and Royal Mint TV were all priced at £100, again, there will be a slight addition to the wheel, all to be revealed at 3 o'clock when we come on at 3 o'clock. Not subliminal, I've just got to dry now. So I made a cup of coffee ready. So, my recommendation, my advice, my ask, my plead, if you like, whatever you want to call it, is that if I owe you anything, then let's get it transferred over. I've cleared probably a third to a half, maybe, and I can handle this one-on-one. So those of you that I still owe, get in touch, text me, anything. Or you don't need to have a conversation with me. All I need for you to do is just to text me, give me a thumbs up and say, transfer everything into the shares. That's all you need to do, and I will do that. I'll get it done with as fast as I can. You'll be added to the wheel. And then I've got my book of shares. I'm not confused, and I can attack them as and when I've got the money to do so. Now, an interesting thing has happened in that I had a conversation with somebody who's got some shares. And I said to him, you know, because another thing that I think will happen is I think that the shares, the memberships will actually be tradable. I think some of you will trade them. And the reason I think some of you will trade them is because I'm gearing everything towards these giveaways. And the ultimate giveaway is going to be what I call a super wheel. And people are going to want to be on that super wheel. You see, they're going to want to have a go at that super wheel. And in order to have a go at that super wheel, maybe there's one that they're missing. Because in order to go on that super wheel, I'm going to invent, if you like, certain rules and say that, you know, in order to be on the super wheel, you have to have a membership in all of this stuff. Now, exactly what all that's going to be, I don't know yet. I might add one or two to it. I don't know yet. But that super wheel is coming, and I'm working on that. And that's going to be the main goal of that. So what will happen is if someone is short of one, they're going to want to buy it off somebody else. And this person I was talking to, I said, so, you know, you never know, you might be able to cash in. He went, I ain't cashing them in. I said, well, what happens if what if somebody offers you 150 quid for a £100 share? He said, I wouldn't sell it. That spoke volumes to me. That conversation, it spoke absolute volumes. If somebody wanted to buy the membership off you for 150 quid, you paid 100 quid for it, you won't sell it. No, it's worth too much to me in my mind, says he. So what we could end up with here is whilst I'm, and let's use this other customer as the example with the 3.5 grand, right? So what we could end up with is we could end up with a situation that he's got his full return from the first one, full return. So now as we go along, at some point, someone might want to buy a couple of shares. Someone might want to buy a share in something because they're missing that membership to get on the super wheel. And he's got a few, and he might decide to sell one. He might even sell one at a profit. Can sell them all through me and I'll rewrite them out. That's no problem. But he might sell one at a profit. So he might sell one from 100 to 150 quid. Now the original investment is starting to pay even more dividends. And I'm trying to make it so that the people that have invested the most, the people that have taken these chances, get their returns. You will all get your returns. Every single one of you will get your returns. All of the investors that haven't been settled yet will get your returns. Now, we are sold out, completely and utterly sold out on royalmint.news. And we're sold out on changechecker.com. We've got some of the other two left. Now, of course, originally, I only put 50% of the membership stroke shares up for sale because of a different reason. But now we're looking at something else. So, you know, things morph, things change, things evolve, which is what they're doing at the moment. One thing that is clear is that I haven't posted out such a volume of coins, amount, loads and loads of stuff as what I've been posting out recently. So this idea is working nicely. So it would be my suggestion for anybody that is owed any investment at all to get in touch with me and say, okay, Ian, let's turn this entire amount into the memberships and the shares. You won't be disappointed with that. If you've trusted me this far, so if you trust me just a little bit further, like that person there, I don't think that you will be disappointed. You will be getting a stream of stuff every now and again, because if you've got a lot of money's worth, then you'll end up like him with quite a few. And also because I will be able to attack it at some point, and the sheer fact of doing this immediately adds value. So by solving a problem, we actually add value. So anybody at all that's owed any investments whatsoever, no matter how small, no matter how big, I would honestly say, stick with me on this, and I think we're going to come out on top. I think it will. We will come out to a degree where everybody will be happy. And if anybody's watching this that's owed money in any way, shape, or form outside of the investments, and you want to cash that in either against stock or against the memberships, then give me a call or a text. So one of the things that's going to happen with, and I haven't had a chance to tell everybody yet on the team, so nobody else knows yet, but like I say, there's going to be little additions to the wheel. So so when we do the draw for royalmint.news, there'll be a significant change on the wheel, but we don't have to do any work. So on the royalmint.news wheel, when it hits a £5 voucher, instead of as normal, which is what we do now, we double any £5 voucher, so you can't win a fiver, you can only win a minimum of a tenner on the wheel. But the £5 voucher one, instead of being swapped for a tenner, the £5 voucher will be swapped for an Ian's Choice, which makes that wheel a little bit more oomph, right? That's just for the people on royalmint.news memberships. The people that are on changechecker.com, changechecker.org and Royal Mint TV, all of those are £100 each. So the £5 voucher, like the Royal Mint News, will be swapped for an Ian's Choice, and also the £10 voucher will be swapped for an Ian's Choice. So now, as you can see, the wheels themselves are, in a way, they've got a lot better, even though no work on changing anything over, no work on doing anything. Got to keep the work to a minimum for me and Chris. Remember, what Chris does, he doesn't get paid for it, he does for free. So I can't go loading him up non-stop, even though he will say that I probably do anyway. So that's what's coming with that. And the super wheel is just going to get even. When we make the super wheel, that will be even better. So for those people that haven't, I don't owe you any money, I don't owe you any investment, and you haven't bought into any of the shares, get in. Get in and get some. Get yourself one. Make sure you at least get one spot on the wheel. Pardon me. I just got a notification from Chris to say he's changed all the £5 vouchers for £10 ones. That's brilliant. That's cool. That's exactly what we want to see. Better than what we want, because then it saves messing about. So so I will change that slightly, because even though I've just said that, when I come back at 3 o'clock, something will be different for the royalmint.news, and certainly the £100 shares. So changechecker.com, changechecker.org, Royal Mint TV. He's changed the 5s to 10s, and I was going to do 5s and 10s. So that's cool. That works. So for those three, the £10 voucher, because all the £5 vouchers have been changed now for a £10 voucher. So for those three, the £100 memberships, all of the £10 vouchers will now be an Ian's Choice. And it will just still say £10 voucher. We need that because of when we do the wheel normally. You with me? Because we'll do the same wheel normally, and a £10 voucher will be a £10 voucher. But when we spin it for the Royal Mint TV, changechecker.com, changechecker.org customers, if it lands on a £10 voucher, that will automatically be an Ian's Choice. That makes that worth something. Really, really, that can make so much difference to a spin. And I will do something for the £39 one for the Royal Mint.news. So they're all going to have their own little different quirk on the spin to make the value of the spin worth the higher investment, if you see what I mean. So we do have some changechecker.orgs left, and we do have some Royal Mint TVs left, and you won't find them on PayHip. They are over on the greatbritishcoinhunt.co.uk, so you can use them over there. We are removing the memberships and the domain from the prize wheel so that you can't win one. So those are being taken off as quick as Chris can get them off. So they are disappearing from the wheel, because I don't want to give any more shares away as wins. I want people to buy the memberships and the shares. That makes it more exclusive. Otherwise, it's a free-for-all. So, and I want to go down a more exclusive route. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And it is the one area that I cannot, at the moment, fingers crossed, touch wood, that I'm not being interfered with or can't be interfered with. And it's working. And I am pumping a lot of stuff out every week. So for those of you that have stuck with us, thank you very much. For those of you that have just joined us and you're brand new, I can't explain everything that's happened. You'd have to check out some videos. All I can say is the last 2 years has been up and down like Fiddler's bloody elbow. But we're getting there. I've had a tremendous amount of support, and I thank so many people for supporting me. I'm not going to give a list of names because I will end up missing somebody out or mentioning somebody's name that doesn't want to be mentioned. But those of you that have given me even just that little bit of help, you know you are. Thank you very much, because you've got us to where we are. What it does mean is that, again, listing stuff for sale, I have only got one pair of hands. So I have to try and devote a bit of time to do paperwork. That might take a day. I might try and make another day posting and another day listing, or, you know, and I have to take some time out, think about what I'm doing, ideas, that kind of stuff. So this all takes time. But we are getting there. We are finally getting there. When we come on today at 3 o'clock, I've already got about 15 spins in a bin ready to be done. So if anybody wants to buy any spins of the wheel, it is £10 a spin. It's 6 spins for 50 quid. So if you buy 5, you'll get 6. And if you're a gold member, you'll get an extra one. And if you're a team member, you'll get an extra one. So if you happen to be a gold team member, you would get 8. Okay, so I think we're up to date. I think I've given everybody a good idea of where we are from the investment point of view. Please get in touch and let me transfer it over. If I transfer it over, it makes no difference money-wise. I'm not saying if you don't let me transfer it over, you know, there's going to be issues or whatever. I'm saying whether you let me transfer it over or whether you say no to me transferring it over, the amount of money that I still owe is exactly the same. It doesn't change. It's just that if you let me transfer it over, I think you'll benefit more out of it, like this other person, than if you don't. That's what I'm saying. And for those people that haven't worked that one out, I'm bringing it to your attention because you need it bringing to your attention, because I think you're losing out. What I can't do is I can't automatically transfer people over, because I'm sure I could get into trouble for doing something like that. It's, you know, we're talking money, and you have to tell me what you want me to do with it. Apart from, you know, and give it to you. We know that, but you have to tell me which way you want to jump with this. So my suggestion is, please allow me to transfer it over. It will make the domain so much better. It will make the prize wheel so much better, and you will get a better return out of it. And I think it will benefit you more than just leaving it as it is over there, tucked away, waiting. See what I mean? Okay, thanks very much. Thanks for putting up with me on these live updates. The reason I do these live updates and I don't talk to anybody is because if I do an update like I used to, record it and then try and edit it down a little bit and then upload it, it can take me 6 hours, 8 hours to upload it on my phone. And I have to have my phone with me all the time, so that, you know, like when it goes on standby like that, I've got to keep my phone on all the time. Got to keep my phone on all the time and keep it alight while it's uploading, which means I have to have my phone glued to my hand. Whatever I do, wherever I go, I've got to have it glued to my hand, so I can keep touching the screen in order to keep it like that, alight, as it were, and stop it from you know, from just going off like that. Because when it goes off, sometimes it interferes with my upload, and then I have to start all over again. And that can take me 6 or 8 hours. Whereas if I do it this way, it's an upload, and within 10 minutes of us coming off, boom, it's uploaded to YouTube, and I haven't got to wait. It's done. So that's why I'm doing the lives like this, doing the updates like this now live, is so that I can just get what I've got to say across, and then we can come off and it'll be uploaded. Okay, so thanks very much. Got lots to do. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16. Got about 20 parcels here to wrap from last week. And then in today's show, we will see what of these people win even more prizes, so I can add it to their parcels, and then it will all be out. I'm managing to keep on top of it pretty well. So that's it. That is that's a full update, investment update, money update, and where I think we're going with the shares, and also let you know about the camper van. So that's now coming off. I'm taking that off right now. And like I say, anybody that's owed any guesses, get in touch with me, and I will give you a new voucher to be able to get the guesses for the gold. All right, or we'll do that live or something like that. Okay, thanks very much. Royal Mint TV, changechecker.org, still some available. Get in there before they close, over on the greatbritishcoinhunt.co.uk. And then don't forget, you've got tgbchraffle.com. There are raffles finishing every day almost over there, and there is that gold one coming up. So there is another gold proof over on TGBCH Raffle. Go over there and get yourself some entries for it. All right then, thanks a lot. This is Ian from TGBCH TV. Bye for now.
Hi, I'm Tom Cruise. You guys ready? So, yes. It was interesting.
Coin hunt, we got what you want. We got gold and silver, seems everyone's a winner. It's so elementary, you get one free entry. Every single raffle make your collection dazzle. TGBCHraffle.com. TGBCHraffle.com.